Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the current affairs. Today we are going to learn the current affairs for 15th of May 2024. So let's start and see that what are the things we can learn from this session and what are the notes we can update from this particular current affairs. So before we start, these are the topics I got covered for you. So I got some international, national and state news as always. After that, I will discuss the banking and finance and defense news for you. We will discuss the science and tech sports important days, appointments and resignation, summits and conferences, obituary, awards and recognitions, and at last I'll summarize all the things for all of you. Before we start, the images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Okay, so first news that we have today with us is that India and Iran signed a long-term contract to operate Chabahar port in Iran. So it has been in news for a very long time, since 2016-17, and that India is having a particular acquisition of the Chabahar port and is operating the Chabahar port. And now particularly a long-term contract has been signed between India and Iran recently on 13th May. A 10-year contract to operate the Shahid Beheshti port terminal at Chabahar port. So a particular terminal, that is the Shahid Beheshti port terminal, is being operated by India. The contract was signed by India Ports Global Limited and Iran's Port and Maritime Organization in the presence of Indian Minister Sarbanand Sonowal, who is he? He is the Minister of Shipping and Waterways in India, and Iranian Minister Mehrdad Bazarpash. IPGL will invest approximately $120 million in equipping the port, with India offering a credit window of $250 million for infrastructure projects. The Chabahar port, initiated in 2015, aims to enhance the regional connectivity and trade, serving as a vital transit port for Afghanistan and Central Asian countries. So we have been with this particular country, that is earlier known as Mesopotamia, for a very long time, in trade relations with for a very long time, since the Indus Valley civilization. And now again we are having a relation in which we are particularly operating a particular terminal of the Chabahar port for the next 10 years, and for that purpose India and Iran has now contracted with each other. If we talk about Iran, so Iran touches the Persian Gulf, that particularly meets with the Gulf of Oman through the Hormuz Strait, and which finally meets the Arabian Sea. And if we talk about the presence of India in this region, it is very helpful for geopolitical reasons, and as well as first of all things that India is having a good relations with the neighbors, especially with the Central Asian countries. Illegal trafficking of wildlife remains prevalent. UNODC Third World Wildlife Crime Report. So according to the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, released third edition of its World Wildlife Crime Report, highlighting ongoing illegal trafficking in wildlife. Report, based on the data from 2020 to 2021, shows a significant reduction in seizures due to the COVID-19 disruption rather than a true decline in trafficking. So basically, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime has released a third edition of the World Wildlife Crime Report, and in that it highlighted that the illegal trafficking in wildlife is going on rapidly, increasing rapidly. According to the data 2020-2021, there was a reduction in seizures due to COVID-19 disruption rather than a true decline in trafficking. Okay, so this is because of the COVID-19 time. 2015 to 2021, 13 million items were seized, involving around 4,000 species across 162 countries and territories. Report calls for improved enforcement and anti-corruption measures to combat wildlife crime, which has led to local or global extinction. Just to add, recently, Iberian lynx, you must have heard about the Iberian lynx. It has been particularly removed from the list of being endangered and has moved to the list of being vulnerable. And a particular type of cat species is found in Iberian Peninsula, that is near Portugal and Spain. So that is we are talking about. So illegal trafficking of wildlife remains prevalent, and according to UNODC, World Wildlife Crime Report. India's Ramcharitramanas, Panchtantra, and Shraddha Lokana included in UNESCO's Memory of the World Register. So UNESCO has included Ramcharitramanas, that is written by Mr. Tulsidas, and Panchtantra, written by Vishnu Sharma, and Shardhya Lokana in its Memory of the World Asia Pacific Regional Register. So they have got themselves registered in the Memory of the World Asia Pacific Regional Register. These literary works were authored by Goswami Tulsidas, Pandit Vishnu Sharma, and Acharya Anand Vardhan, respectively. So the third one, Shardya Lokana, was written by, remember this point because it is very necessary for you, Acharya Anand Vardhan. The inclusion was made during the 10th meeting of the Memory of the World Committee for Asia and the Pacific in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts played a significant role in this achievement, represented by Professor Ramesh Chandra Gaur. So please remember that India's Ramcharitramanas, Panchtantra, and Shardya Loka included in UNESCO's Memory of the World Register. Recently, UNESCO's 46th summit was held in New Delhi. And if we talk about that, so recently the 43rd UNESCO World Heritage Site was also declared in Assam, and it is a burial site. And earlier last year, two sites were particularly described. That is the 41st and 42nd site in UNESCO World Heritage, that are Shanti Niketan, and the other one is Hosiala Temple. And if we talk about recently, the 8th wonder of the world was also declared. That is the Angkor Wat Temple of Cambodia, and that is also declared by UNESCO. So remember all these things. And recently, UNICEF, if we talk about UNICEF recently declared Kareena Kapoor as the national brand ambassador in India. Indian literary masterpiece inscribed on UNESCO's Memory of the World Register. So we just discussed about this one. So please remember three important literatures. One is Ramcharitramanas, written by Tulsidas. Another one is Panchtantra, written by Vishnu Sharma, and another one is Shardya Loka, written by Anand Vardhan. So these are the three literature works registered under the Memory of the World Register of UNESCO. This is very important current affairs. Please remember which three books have been inducted into this one. IAF conducted Bambi bucket operation to combat forest fires in Uttarakhand. So we just discussed in last sessions that the Bambi bucket operation was introduced by Indian Air Force to combat the forest fire in Uttarakhand. And also the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Mr. Pushkar Singh Dhami, he introduced a particular campaign in which he was asking the local people of the forest that they should bring the dried leaves to them, and particularly in respect of that they will be getting money. So these are the two things that have been started in India, in the Uttarakhand. So Indian Air Force conducted Bambi bucket operations in collaboration with the Uttarakhand government to combat forest fires in Nainital. So this particular fire that broke out was in the areas of Jim Corbett National Park. IAF used the Mi-17V5 helicopter, conducting 23 sorties and using 44,600 liters of water to extinguish the fire. Bambi bucket, introduced in 1983, enables helicopter to transport large volumes of water to fight wildfires. Uttarakhand government also launched Tirul Lao Paisa Pao campaign to reduce the fire risk and utilize pine tree leaves for productive purpose. So remember these things. The two type of things have been introduced by the Indian Air Force and the Uttarakhand government. Pirul Lao Paisa Pao campaign launched in Uttarakhand. We just discussed about this one. So Pirul is this kind of grass that is a dried grass, and if you bring that to the government or the officials of the government, you will get in return some particular money. So let's read out at what they are giving. So a campaign to combat forest fires and forest devastation. The campaign inaugurated by the Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami in Rudraprayag district on 8th May. Local and youth will collect dry pine tree leaves, pirul, and transport them to designated collection centers, receiving rupees 50 per kilogram. Okay, so that is a good thing that 50 per kilogram will be given. The campaign aims to reduce fire risk in pine forests and utilize pirul for electricity generation. SBI becomes the first bank as the trading cum clearing member of IIBX. So State Bank of India became the first Bank of India to act as a trading cum clearing member at the India International Bullion Exchange (IFSC) Limited. Thus enables SBI's International Finance Service Center banking unit to conduct trades on the IIBX platform. The Reserve Bank of India permitted Indian banks in GIFT IFSC to act as the trading members or trading and clearing members. IIBX, launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in June 2022, is regulated by International Finance Service Center Authority. So SBI has become the first bank as a trading cum clearing member of IIBX. Please remember this. Bajaj Finserv launches India's first multi-asset allocation fund with dividend yield strategy. So Bajaj Finserv Asset Management Limited launched the Bajaj Finserv Multi-Asset Allocation Fund, an open-ended investment scheme. This fund, the first of its kind in India, uses a dividend yield strategy to provide stability and growth by diversifying across asset classes. The new fund offer opens 13th May 2024 and closes with a minimum application amount rupees 500. The fund aims to generate income from fixed income instrument, capital appreciation from equity commodities and REITs and invites. So remember, Bajaj Finserv launches India's first multi-asset allocation fund. Hyderabad-based Grenco Xerox signed green ammonia supply pact with Norway's Yara. So Grenco Xerox signed an agreement with Yara Clean Ammonia to supply renewable ammonia from its production facility in Kakinada, Andhra Pradesh. Grenco Xerox will supply up to 50% of the green ammonia produced in phase 1 of its facility to Yara. Yara will use the ammonia to produce low emission fertilizers and reduce carbon emissions in industries such as shipping and power. Kakinada facility will start with an initial production capacity of 1 million tons per annum, increasing to 5 million tons per annum by 2030. So Hyderabad-based Grenco Xerox has signed an agreement with Norway's Yara to supply for the supply of ammonia. Hinduja Group firm IIHL receive approval from IRDAI for Reliance Capital acquisition. So we discussed about this one also. So Reliance Capital has been acquired by Hinduja Group, and let's read out. So IndusInd International Holdings Limited received approval from the IRDAI, that is the highest regulatory body of insurance things in India, for the acquisition of Reliance Capital. Acquisition includes the takeover of Reliance General Insurance and Reliance Nippon Life Insurance. The approval is subject to certain regulatory, statutory, and judicial clearances. IIHL aims to complete the Reliance Capital deal by the National Company Law Tribunal deadline of May 27. So please remember that Hinduja Group firms IIHL receive approval from IRDAI. China overtakes US as India's largest trading partner in financial year 24. So we discussed about this one also. So it is a big news that China has overtaken the USA to become India's largest trading partner in the fiscal year 2023-2024. That means the last financial year, surpassing United States. Data from the Global Trade Research Initiative shows two-way commerce between India and China. This figure slightly edges out the $118.3 billion traded with the US. The shift highlights the growing economic ties between India and China. So please remember that China overtakes US as the India's largest trading partner. Public sector banks profit surpasses 1.4 lakh crore. So public sector bank in India reported a cumulative profit of 1.4 lakh crore for the fiscal year ending March 2024. This makes a significant 35% increase from previous year's earning of 1.04 lakh crore. SBI was a major contributor, accounting for over 40% of total earnings. The surge in profit reflects the robust performance of PSBs. So remember, public sector banks' profit surpasses 1.4 lakh crore in the financial year 24. RBI gold holdings and foreign exchange reserves update. So we have an update regarding the foreign exchange reserves and the gold holdings that RBI has. So this is particularly very important as the foreign reserve is important for trading purpose. And apart from that, the gold reserve is also important that particularly defines that how much gold India has and how much good economy that India has. So the Reserve Bank of India increased its gold reserve by 27.46 metric tons in financial year 24. By the end of March 2024, RBI total gold reserve stood at 822.10 metric tons. Share of gold in the total foreign exchange reserve rose to about 8.15%, up from 7.81%. Increase underscores RBI's strategy to diversify its reserves. So remember that RBI gold holdings and foreign exchange reserves, we have particularly 27.46 metric tons of gold. And apart from that, uh, increase that is an increment, and the total number of gold that we have is 822.10 metric tons. And apart from that, if we talk about the foreign exchange recently, so recently RBI has created a record. We have the total foreign exchange of 700 plus 700 billion dollar. RBI approves Quant MF to raise stake in RBL Bank. So the highest regulatory body of banking in India has approved Quant Mutual Fund to increase the stake in RBL Bank to 9.98%. This approval is subject to conditions and provisions under the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Decision was disclosed in regulatory filing that reflects RBI regulatory oversight in the banking sector. So please remember that RBI has approved the Quant MF to raise stake in RBL Bank. HDFC Bank introduces Pixel Play, India's premier virtual credit card with Visa. So HDFC Bank has launched Pixel Play, India's first virtual credit card in partnership with Visa. The card is available in two variants, Pixel Play, Pixel Go. User can personalize their cards through the bank's PayZapp mobile app. Features include card controls, rewards, EMI dashboards, offering seamless banking experience. So remember that HDFC Bank has introduced Pixel Play, India's premier virtual credit card with Visa. Wholesale inflation hits 13-month high, food and fuel surge. So there are two types of inflation. One is the retail inflation and another one is the wholesale inflation. So we talked about the retail inflation in some of the last sessions. That was somewhere around 4.83% or 85%. Now, if we are talking about the wholesale inflation, so India's wholesale inflation soared to 13-month high of 1.26%. Increase is up from 0.53% in March. The surge was driven by rising prices of food articles, especially vegetables. Fuel and power cost also saw year-on-year increase of 1.4% after months of deflation. So we can see a little bit rise of inflation in the wholesale market, and the results will be soon be seeing in the retail market also. Moody's forecast India's economy to expand 6.6%. So according to Moody rating, the GDP growth of India for the financial year 25 will be 6.6%. The growth is expected to fuel strong credit demands, particularly benefiting non-banking financial companies. The forecast comes despite challenges posed by rising fund costs. It reflects optimism about India's economic trajectory. So do remember that Moody's forecast Indian economy to expand at 6.6%. Hero MotoCorp joins ONDC network to revolutionize two-wheelers industry. So Hero MotoCorp has integrated with the open network for digital commerce. This makes it the first two-wheeler manufacturer to join the network. The integration aims to enhance accessibility and convenience for customers. It offers seamless digital experience for purchasing two-wheeler parts, accessories, and merchandise. So Hero MotoCorp joins ONDC network to revolutionize two-wheelers industry. Recently, Bajaj Motors has become the first company in India that has introduced a CNG bike in India. Now Hero Motocorps, they have joined ONDC network to revolutionize two-wheelers industry. Seventh, India France joint military Act Shakti 2024. So an exercise that is known as the Shakti is the India France joint military exercise, and it began on 13 May at Umroi, Meghalaya. The biennial training exercise conducted alternately in India and France will run from 13 May to 26 May. Indian contingent, represented mainly by a battalion of the Rajput Regiment, include 90 personnel with observers from the Indian Air Force and Navy. French contingent consists of 90 personnel from the 13th Foreign Legion, Half Bridge. Exercise aims to enhance joint military capabilities for multi-domain operations in semi-urban and mountainous terrains, focusing on tactical drills and interoperability. So do remember that the seventh India-France joint military exercise Shakti has commenced in Meghalaya recently. Microsoft AI and Cloud Boost 4 billion euros investment in France. So Microsoft Corporation announced a 4 billion euros investment in AI and cloud infrastructure in France. This investment underscores Microsoft's commitment to advancing AI capabilities. It also aims to expand company's cloud service globally. The moves highlights Microsoft's strategic focus on AI and cloud computing. Recently, Microsoft was also in collaboration with the Infosys to create an AI ecosystem in India, if we talk about. And other than that, recently Nvidia is coming with Reliance Geo so that they can create an AI ecosystem in India as well. Apart from that, if we talk about the AI city of India, that is the Lucknow, and AI hub is going to be Bengaluru. TCS unveils Global AI Center of Excellence in France. So Tata Consultancy Service announced the creation of Global AI Center of Excellence in Paris. Announcement was made during the Choose France Summit, hosted by President Emmanuel Macron. This move underscores TCS commitment to the French market. It also highlights TCS focus on the global AI landscape. So do remember that TCS has unveiled Global AI Center of Excellence in France. Google Art and Culture launches Millets Seeds of Change exhibition. So last year, 2023, was the International Year of Millets, and now Google Art and Culture, in collaboration with Indian Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, launched Millets Seeds of Change. Millets are basically a type of grains that are majorly used in India. And last year, as it was International Year of Millets, so India took that chance or opportunity to create a platform all over the world with the help of Asian countries also, so that the use of millet and the benefits of millet can be told to the world. So the exhibition highlights historical importance and modern relevance of millets. It showcases their evolution from ancient staples to contemporary superfoods. Exhibition emphasizes millet's nutritional value, role in climate resilience, potential to address global food security challenges. So remember, Google Art and Culture launches Millets Seeds of Change. Magnus Carlsen wins 2024 Superbat Poland Rapid and Blitz. Pragnanand finishes fourth. So recently, Pragnanand and her sister Vaishali, they were given the status of Grandmaster, and they have become the first sister brother duo that has got this particular opportunity or name. So now let's talk about Magnus Carlsen, the five-time world champion, won 2024 Superbet Poland Rapid and Blitz, held from 7 to 12 May 2024 in Warsaw, Poland. So Rapid and Blitz is a kind of a tournament that is a part of chess. So chess has different type of particularly sets, like international cricket. Cricket has different type of matches, like test match is a long format, then ODI is a little bit short format, and then T20 a very short format. So now if we talk about chess also has different type of formats. Some are classic format and some are rapid and blitz. So rapid and blitz are basically a format in which a little bit time is given, and in that particular time you have to choose your particularly steps so that you can win. If the time is out, you will be out. So Carlsen clinched the title with a total of 26 points after 10 consecutive wins, receiving a prize of US dollar 40,000. Wei Yi of China secured second spot with 25.5 points, while Dan Krzysztof Duda of Poland finished third. Indian chess player Pragnanan finished fourth with 19 points, followed by Arjun Irigaizi in fifth and Duma Raju Gukesh, that is D Gukesh, in 10th position. Indian javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra finished second at Doha Diamond League. So in Qatar, Neeraj Chopra secured second position at Doha Diamond League, and that was held in Qatar Sports Club. Jakub Vedlej of Czech Republic reclaimed the top spot with an 88.38 meter throw, while Neeraj Chopra missed the first spot by just 2 centimeters. Anderson Peter of Grenda finished third with an 86.62 meter throw. The next man javelin throw Diamond League meeting will be held in Paris on 7 July 2024, just before the Paris Olympics. Tamil Nadu Shyam Nikhil becomes the India's 85th chess grandmaster. So recently, P. Shyam Nikhil from Tamil Nadu has become the India's 85th chess grandmaster in chess. 31-year-old secured his third and final grandmaster norm at 2024 Dubai Police Master Chess Tournament. Shyam Nikhil began his chess journey at the age of 8. This achievement marks a significant milestone in Indian chess history. International Day of Plant Health. So a particular day is dedicated for the health of plant is observed on 12th of May to raise awareness about the importance of protecting plant health. The theme is IDPH, Plant Health, Safe Trade and Digital Technology. Observance is led by Food and Agriculture Organization in collaboration with the International Plant Protection Convention. UN General Assembly proclaimed 12th May as IDPH in recognizing plant health as the key to sustainable agricultural development. So do remember that International Day of Plant Health is held on 12th of May. International Nurses Day. So 12th of May is also honored to the nurses. So 12th of May is May to honor the contribution of nurses and recognize their role in healthcare. IND commemorates birth anniversary of Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. The theme for International Nurses Day is Our Nurses, Our Future, Economic Power of Care. Observance is led by International Council of Nurses, which has been celebrating IND since 1965. And please remember, Florence Nightingale Award is also given to the nurses who are working in the field for the betterment of the patients and people. International Sun Day. So International Sun Day is observed on 3rd of May to raise awareness about the benefits of solar energy. The day celebrates potential of solar energy in fostering greener and healthier planet. In India, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy organized a Run for Sun marathon in New Delhi. 6 cities across India hosted solar stops, interactive kiosks showcasing importance of solar energy. So do remember, International Sun Day is observed on 3rd of May. International Day of Families observed on 15th May. So International Day of Families is celebrated annually on 15th of May. Day recognizes the essential role of families in society. United Nations established this day in 1994 to raise awareness about the family related issues and promote family well-being. So do remember, International Day of Families is observed on 15th of May. IIFL Securities Limited appointed Neem Kumar as its new managing director. So IIFL Securities Limited appointed Neem Kumar H as its new managing director for a period of 5 years, effective from 15th May. Neem Kumar H, a professional chartered accountant, has succeeded R. Venkatraman, whose term as MD expired on 14th May. Neem Kumar has been with IIFL since 2007 and is one of the founding members of IIFL Institutional Equities Business. The company was also appointed Narendra Jain as a whole-time director for another 5 years. So 2 appointments were done by IIFL recently. One is the Name Kumar as the new managing director, and Narendra Jain as the whole-time director for another 5 years. Highlights of 19th United Nations Forum on Forest held in New York. So basically, the 19th session of the United Nations Forum on Forest took place in UN headquartered in New York, chaired by Zephyrin Mani Ratanga of Burundi. The forum conducted midterm review of international arrangement on forest. So the particular arrangement or particular organization has been conducted so that a particular type of awareness can be created regarding the forest. Key outcome include high-level segment declaration and an ambitious resolution outlining new quadrennial program for work for 2025-2028. Indian delegation was led by Jitendra Kumar, Director General of Forest, Special Secretary, Ministry of Environment. Who is the Minister of Environment? Mr. Bhupendra Yadav. Padam Shri awardee Birubala Rabha, anti-witch hunting crusader, passed away. So, Birubala Rabha, renowned anti-witch hunting crusader, Padam Shri awardee, passed away in Guwahati, Assam. She formed the organization Mission Burubhala in 2012 to combat superstitious beliefs and save lives in various districts of Assam. So there was a belief long time ago that some particular woman, they have been called as witch and they have been hunted. And it is not only in India but also in Europe also. So it is still prevailing in some parts of India where some indigenous peoples are still living. And in that case, Birubhala Rabha, she has started as a social activism in this particular case, and she has created awareness regarding this. So for that purpose, she has received Padam Shri in 2021. So Prabha was instrumental in the enactment of the Assam Witch Hunting Prohibition, Prevention and Protection Act 2015. She was awarded Padam Shri in 2021 and was nominated for Nobel Peace Prize in 2005. Nobel Prize winning author Alice Munro dies at 92. So Nobel Prize winning author Alice Munro passed away on 13th May at the age of 92. Munro was renowned for her masterful short stories. Her narratives captured the essence of human nature with remarkable clarity. Munro's work left on an indelible mark on the literary world. So do remember, Nobel Prize winning author Alice Munro dies at 92. Chandrakant Satija honored with Global Excellence Award. So recently, Chandrakant Satija, founder CEO of Chandra Admission Consultants, received the Global Excellence Award. The award ceremony was held at Sahara Star Hotel in Mumbai. Bollywood actress Shilpa Shetty Kundra presented the award. Satija was awarded as the most trusted admission consultant in the Vidarbha region. So do remember, Chandrakant Satija has been honored with the Global Excellence Award, and he's the founder and CEO of Chandra Admission Consultant. So let's revise that what we have learned so far in this session. So if we talk about, first of all, the India and Iran signed a long-term contract to operate Chabahar port in Iran. Illegal trafficking of wildlife remains prevalent under the Third World Wildlife Time Report. India's Ramcharitramanas, Panchtantra and Shardya Lokana included UNESCO's Memory of the World Register. India literary masterpieces inscribed on UNESCO's Memory of the World Register. IAF conducted Bambi Bucket Operation to combat forest fires in Uttarakhand. Pirul Law Paisa Pao campaign launched in Uttarakhand. SBI became first bank as a trading clearing tech member of IIBX. Bajaj Finserv launches India's first multi-asset allocation fund with dividend yield strategy. Hyderabad-based Glencoe Xerox signed green ammonia supply pact with Norway's Yara. Hinduja Group firm IIHL received approval from IRDAI for Reliance Capital acquisition. China overtakes US as India's largest trading partner. Public sector bank profits surpass 1.4 lakh crore. RBI gold holding and foreign exchange reserve update. RBI approves Quant MF to raise stake in RBL Bank. HDFC Bank introduces Pixel Play, India's premier virtual credit card with Visa. Wholesale inflation hits 13-month high, food and fuel surge. Moody's forecast India's economy to expand at 6.6% in financial year 25. Hero Motocorp joined ONDC network to revolutionize two-wheelers industry. 7th, India-France joint military exercise Shakti 2024 commences in Meghalaya. Microsoft AI and Cloud Boost 4 billion euros investment in France. TCS unveils Global AI Center of Excellence in France. Global Art and Culture launches Millet Seeds of Exchange exhibition. Magnus Carlsen wins 2024 Superbet Poland Rapid and Blitz. Pragnanand finishes 4th. Indian javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra finished 2nd at Doha Diamond League. Tamil Nadu Shyam Nikhil becomes India's 85th chess grandmaster. International Day of Plant Health 2024. International Nurses Day 2024. International Sunday 2024. International Day of Families 2024. IIFL Securities Limited appointed Neem Kumar as its new managing director. Highlights of 19th United Nations Forum on Forest held in New York. Padam Shri awardee Birubala Rabha, anti-witch hunting crusader, passed away. Nobel Prize winning author Alice Munro dies at 92. Chandrakant Satija honored with Global Excellence Award 2024. And that's it in this session. I hope you gained a lot of knowledge and knowledgeable facts, and your notes are updated under this particular knowledge. So I'll meet you once again in next session. Till then, bye bye. Take care, everyone, and see you soon.